Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. I have another project for you. It's kind of a Dollar Tree DIY. It's going to go for Valentine's Day and then it will stay around for the rest of the year. So what I have is one of these bear signs from the Dollar Tree. They're kind of hard to find, but if you can find one, you should grab up a couple, because there's some really cute ideas going around out there. And I must say that this was inspired by a gal on the Creative on the Cheap chat group that I am on Facebook. Her name is Jessica Hammond, and she did this with a red and black buffalo check. But she only did one side, and then she put with her vinyl cutter, she wrote Mama, so it was Mama Bear. What we're going to do is make it for Valentine's, and it's going to say kisses on it, or hugs on it, sorry, hugs. So it'll be bear hugs on one side, and then on the other side I'm going to probably leave it plain so that it can just be up on my shelves all year round. I'm using kind of a lightweight cardstock, so I don't think these holes are going to be a problem, so I'm not going to worry about them. So what I did was I removed the jute hanger. And I'm using this paper pad called Miss Claus. It was part of the Christmas line at Michael's, and I got it in one of my $4 Michael grab bags, clearance grab bags. And I just kind of liked this paper. I wanted this side for the Valentine's side, and this one will say hugs on it. And then this one, I wish it didn't have so much gold on it, but I just liked the print of that with a little bit of pink. So I think that could stay up in my craft room, or not my craft room, but in my living room throughout the year. I might take and do a little brown wash over it before I put the final coat of Mod Podge on. Not sure, gonna work on that. So anyway, I wanted to let you see what I had, and I am going to be doing both sides, so it is going to take a little bit of time for drying in the middle of all of that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start. Oh, the first thing I did was remove the hanger, and I took the stickers, the price stickers, off the back. It's still kind of sticky. So I'm going to start on the back side just because. So I think I'm going to actually cut this a little bit, just so that I don't have so much paper in the way. And I'm going to cut it just right on the line. I'm not going to try to cut out my bear and then glue it on and whatnot, because the technique I like to use is to glue it on, let it dry, and then sand off the edges. I just don't want that great big piece in the way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, he's going to fill up most of that piece of paper, so I'm not even going to trim it this way. First thing I need to do is get some glue on my bear. And it's not glue, it's Mod Podge. And I am using the matte finish Mod Podge for this, because I don't like things to be too shiny. Sorry, I had to get rid of that glob. And if the edges get gummed up, that's okay. I will probably dry brush the edges anyway to give it some depth, and I can just paint the edges black. Alright, Mr. Bear. I'm going to put Mr. Bear all the way down here so his feet are straight on the edge of my protective paper. And then I'm going to use that as a guideline for getting my pink paper straight. Okay, I'm pressing it down, and I'm going to roll out the edges. Alright, now I can flip him over. Make sure he's pressed down really good. And I'm not going to cut close, I'm just going to do a rough cut here, because sometimes having extra paper just makes it pull funny. I just want to make sure that it's good and stuck. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now, most times I wouldn't recommend you Mod Podging both sides at once, but I'm going to give it a shot. Then I'm just going to trim like I did on the other side. Alright, now I just need to set this aside and let it dry. I will be back with you as soon as that's ready for the next step. Alright, so I've given my bear some time to dry. I've got a piece of 80 grit sandpaper from the Dollar Tree. It comes several pages to a pack. I usually just fold it into fourths. And I also have a nail file for the teeny weeny spots. And I've got my scissors. And I'm just clipping, cutting kind of close without disturbing things. I just want this to be flexible as I go to sand it. And I'm going to have to be careful because I did both sides at once. I'm going to have to be careful that I don't accidentally disturb the paper on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to start by taking the paper and rubbing it over the edge. Always go from the front to the back, never from the back to the front, because you will pull up your paper. And I'm just, you can go side to side, that works fine too. I'm just gonna loosen it to where it'll come off, and then pull it off. Alright, I am back. That was one of the hardest projects I've ever had to sand, just trying to get in here between his feet. It was so small and so tight. It actually kind of killed my my nail file. I've never had one project doing a whole nail file before. But hey, that's where we're at. So now I'm going to dry brush around the edges with some black, just to give it some shading. Alright, now I'm going to just dip right in here. And, oh, this is a set of brushes. I haven't tried them yet, but a lot of YouTubers use, or a lot of people use these kind of brushes when they're working with chalk paint. They're round. This one's round, and this one's kind of oval, and it's got a rounded tip on it. This one's got a flat tip. This would be great for stenciling, I think. Anyway, I found these in the paint department at Walmart, and I think they were only like $5. They have a set like this in the craft section where they have their chalk paint at Walmart, but they're like $12 a brush. So I'm gonna just dab in, wipe it off on there, and dab off on my paper towel. And then I'm just simply going to brush from my paper onto my project. Just a little bit. I don't want a lot. I just want to define the edge of the bear just a little bit. And I'm just kind of starting on the paper and then just rubbing onto the bear. And as I was sanding it, it kind of made this white line around it, so that's what's absorbing most of the paint. And that's what I was looking for. My dry brush, I'm going to go just a little darker on here, just to give it a little distress. When I do this, I try to always go one direction, side to side or up and down, but I try not to do both ways. Okay, I'm going to give that a quick second to dry. I'm going to go wash out my brush and I'll be right back. I have decided that I do not want to put another sealing coat on the outside of my bear, on the top of the paper, but I am going to put on my decal that says hugs. Now I just cut this, I have a Brother scan and cut machine, and I just use that. My husband has a Silhouette, but I'm not sure how to use that, so I just do my scan and cut. Alright, so I'm rubbing the transfer tape onto my decal. I'm going to use my Cricut scraper to make sure it's on really good. And then I'm going to peel off my backing, and it's ready to position on my bear. I want to make sure that I get it straight-ish. It's hard to see. Well, we'll just go with this line down here. Okay, I'm just going to lightly set this down. That looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to push that down, and I'm going to put my scraper across my decal, and I'm slowly going to lift the transfer tape. Very slowly. There we go. Now, I'm going to put my transfer tape back on here. Probably not going to stick too well. That's okay. Alright, there's my bear. Bear hugs. And then I'm thinking that it might need a little bit of a jute bow around, or tie of some sort around its neck. Get my jute. Just going to clip off some. I think I'm going to double it up and give it a tie. This has been my two-sided bear hugs project. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, please give it a thumbs down. That lets me know what kinds of things you're tuning in to watch on my channel. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And let me know if you might go try to find these bears and make one of these for yourself. They also came in a shape that was a dog and one that was a cat, and I might be doing something with those later on. But this is my bear one. Alright, this has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.